Welcome to another exciting performance part install video on the Pittsburgh Views YouTube channel. Today we'll be installing this Flowmaster Delta Force cold air intake on this 2018 Focus ST. The new intake unboxed and laid out to make sure we have all the pieces. First thing we need to do is remove the engine appearance cover. And then I'll put on my latex gloves for safety and remove the evap hose. Next I'll remove the mass airflow sensor connector and the intake tube hold down. The intake's held in by rubber grommets, so I'll wiggle those loose. And I'll remove this 8mm bracket bolt for the intake tube. Next I'll loosen the hose clamp, which is also an 8mm. Then you can remove the air boot from the intake tube and remove the factory air box. Next I'll loosen the clamp on the intake tube. It's a 7mm. And then you can remove the tube. Then you can remove the 8mm nut that holds the tube in place. Next you remove the engine cover grommet stud. You can see down here is where the intake tube goes onto the throttle body. It's also an 8mm hose clamp. Next you can wiggle the intake tube off of the throttle body and disconnect the air tube on the back of the intake tube. Now you can remove the tube from the vehicle, and the factory air intake is completely removed. Now we can start assembling the Flowmaster intake. First we install the air filter gasket onto the mounting bracket. Next you install the air deflector. Next you install the mounting bracket with 2 bolts. Now we have the bracket installed in the vehicle. The hardest part is getting the weather strip around the edge. Next you loosely install the coupler on the throttle body. Now you can attach the intake tubes to the throttle body and the air filter bracket. Now you can install the air filter and the evaporative emissions lines on the front and back of the intake. Here's what the finished product looks like. It almost looks like it came from the factory this way. it's hard to hear the intake over the Flowmaster exhaust, but you can definitely hear the turbo spool, and the diverter valve is much louder. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for checking out my channel.